Welcome back into the channel, everyone. It has been a long time since I put out my short-term review on my Schwalbe G-One RS tires, and now I owe you a long-term review since I've put on quite a few miles, done a lot of group rides and races on these tires. So now I have broader experience when it comes to using these tires and can give you some long-term feedback on how they're holding up and what I think of them now that I've got a 1,000 miles or so onto them. So as you may remember from my short-term review, I really focused on the speed, comfort, and traction of these tires. And all of those things that I mentioned in that short-term review still remain true to this day. They are a comfortable tire with quite a bit of suppleness built into it. And of course, that suppleness really aids to the feeling and the perception of speed when you're rolling across especially really rough terrain. So that is one thing that I do want to stress is it is, according to the rolling resistance tests, a very fast tire as far as measurable wattage lost, but also that perception of speed when riding is there as well to really give you that feeling of speed. Next up, with traction, as I noted in my previous review, they are not a very knobbly tire. They don't have a lot of traction built in. They do have the sidewall tread on there to help with cornering traction, but it is still a relatively slick tire, and you do need to keep that in mind. When I used these tires at Unbound 2023 with the Mudfest, obviously with the lack of center knobs on that, even on the sections that weren't peanut butter mud, I did have some slipping issues. When there's gravel or when it's hard packed or smooth, you don't have too much of an issue with traction unless you're dealing with pretty steep inclines and you want to get out of the saddle. You can have some slip there. Also with sharp cornering, I don't have as much trust in these as I did my previous challenge tires. Since that last short-term review, I have also made some changes to my setup in which I added Vittoria gravel airliners. I did that just really out of insurance for the Unbound gravel because I know the Flint Hills down there have some gnarly rocks and gravel which like to slice tires, and I wanted to have just a little bit of insurance if I had any punctures that I couldn't repair. I am pleased to announce that I have not had a single puncture on these tires for the duration of my ownership, and that is a testament to the durability of these tires. It really is a rare combination for a gravel tire to have that perfect balance of traction, comfort, speed, and also durability. And while it may not excel at any one thing in that spectrum, the G-One RS tires just do all of it very, very well. Now, that is going to be condition specific. Wet races, races with mud sections and things like that, I would certainly recommend steering away from these tires. But outside of that, as an all-around gravel tire, these are very, very good, and I would definitely recommend them for gravel race events in particular. All right, so with all of that said, I do still have these tires installed. They still are my go-to gravel tire for almost all of the gravel riding that I do. And so I know that was a really short update, but since I haven't had any catastrophic events like slices in the tire or significant amount of punctures, no news really is good news in this case, because all of those short-term thoughts that I had are still true today, only with the addition of a little bit of extra time to really evaluate the durability of these tires, which all came back well. So if you found my videos on these tires helpful, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you have any particular questions that I haven't answered, or you just want some different thoughts or feedback from me on these tires that maybe you haven't found answered anywhere else, go ahead, drop it down in the comments there. It really is a good way for me to give much more thought to specific questions, and I can really put my thoughts out well in text in the comments below, and I really love to engage with all of you in the comment section. So with that said, until next time, enjoy your ride.